Peter cut off the ear of the servant. First of all, did you know that he was the servant of the high priest? His name was Malchus. Now, a lot of people don't understand why Jesus put his ear back on. A lot of people just chalk it up. Jesus put his ear back on because Jesus wanted to be peaceful. Okay? Well, yeah, but it's deeper than that. You see, being that Malchus was the high priest's servant and Peter cut his ear off impulsively, what would have happened is not only Yeshua, Jesus, him being on trial, Peter would have then been on trial too. In fact, when you read the Gospels, you'll see, but one of the men with Jesus pulled out his sword and struck the high priest's slave, slashing off his ear. Put away your sword, Jesus told him. Those who use the sword will die by the sword. Don't you realize that I could ask my Father for thousands of angels to protect us, and he would send them instantly? But if I did, how would the scriptures be fulfilled that describe what must happen? You see, the Father, he could have sent angels. And he would have sent angels if Yeshua would have asked, right? This just shows, number one, how dedicated Jesus was to dying for us and resurrecting and fulfilling the Father's will. Jesus had a choice, but he wanted to obey the Father, so he did it, all right? And he loved us, so he did it. That's a sidebar. But going back to this, go to John, he'll tell you directly that it was Peter. He tells you that it was Peter. And he drew a sword and slashed off the right ear of Malchus, right? The high priest's slave or servant. But Jesus said to Peter, put your sword back into a sheath. Shall I not drink from the cup of suffering that my Father has given me? Because that could have disrupted stuff, right? So I want you to understand this. When Jesus touched his ear, put the servant's ear back on, Malchus's ear back on, and healed him, it was to remove the evidence. Because I want you to look at what Yeshua said next. In that hour, Jesus said to the crowd, am I leading a rebellion that you have come out here with swords and clubs to capture me? Every day I sat in the temple of the courts teaching, and you did not arrest me. See, if they would have saw the evidence of the ear being off, it would have, number one, condemned Peter. He would have been dying as well. But number two, they would have tried to use that and say, hey, you are leading a rebellion. Look at what your disciple or your follower Peter did. Look at what he did. He cut his ear off. So Jesus had to get rid of the evidence. That would become a prophetic precursor for him dying on the cross and resurrecting, eliminating the evidence that we have so we wouldn't go to hell. The Lord, if you make a mistake, he'll eliminate the evidence and he'll restore everything unto you if you maintain in him. Hit follow if you like content like this. Deadline's in a little over a week. We're doing a 3-day class teaching why God made sex, a deep dive into the Song of Solomon, how the enemy took it and perverted it, and more. To join from Instagram, click the link in my story or bio. On TikTok and YouTube in my bio.